We good?
Very good.
All right, so now I'll officially open the meeting for the Facein Select Board for Tuesday, July 8th at 6 p.m. at the Robert Vassar Town Hall. We've got, first item on the agenda is to approve the Select Board meeting minutes of June 24th. Everybody get a chance to read those? Yep. Have a motion to approve? Second, all in favor? Aye. All right, so I will sign those. And good night. Next item is any additions or deletions to the agenda. Anyone have anything they want to add or delete? Seeing none. We'll move to item 3, which is public comments. Langford, are you here for public comments, or you just gonna follow the meeting?
Gonna follow the meeting, and then I might give you guys copies of the record of revisions that we warned to the public, because we have a PC meeting coming Monday.
Okay,
I have the planning commission report with me, copies of that, and then the revisions that we're putting to the LURs. Was maybe gonna give you that stuff, and if you have any questions, but you probably wanted to review it, so.
yeah, for sure.
So I have a question, when we receive that, can we receive it in a form such that it's the original that's in the bill?
Oh,
That
edited.
is now, and then have it highlighted,
Right.
yeah, like, so we can see it all in one document where
Yeah.
things we take that put in.
So I have, I mean, we can talk about this now or later, yeah, basically, I have a copy of what we're gonna have it look like, but I can give you the specific pages if that helps you.
Well, kind of think like when I get a document that's been edited by somebody.
Yeah,
They just, it's edited, but you can see what was there
Yeah,
before and then
revision,
what's
right.
going in.
yeah,
So that's what I was kind of.
the
Yeah.
red line document, I can give you I can get you the
Okay.
red line document.
Yeah.
The issues we're officially sending to you after we have to have the public make the comment to us,
Mhm.
and then you guys decide how you wanna warn it to the public. And then hold your own public hearing. I was gonna sort of give it to you in a non-official way, because going into the meeting on Monday, I don't know how many of the public are gonna show up.
Yep.
So that I could. Maybe raise any issues you guys might have with when the public is there or when we're talking about it. But it's not the official path is that we're supposed to give it to you after the public makes
Yes.
it to us.
Yeah.
But yeah, happily send you the red line document.
That's good. That's what we've done in the past too.
Yeah,
It's just easier for us to know what the changes are. Yeah. Okay, good. All right, so you need any more time? No? Oh. I take that as a firm no. All right, next item is the 2025 tax rate. With our treasurer, Sarah Stavraki. And we had set the municipal tax rate the last meeting, I think it was. And we were waiting for the information on the education tax. And then we had something else with the,
So you need to, we were waiting on the education tax rate, partially because we needed that to set the local agreement tax rate.
yeah,
So that, based on the homestead tax rate, the local agreement tax rate is 0.0002 to collect the taxes
yeah.
that we need for our veteran in town. Sarah, can you speak a little louder? Sure. So the tax rate that we need, that I would like the select board to set is 0.0002 for the local agreement tax rate.
Okay, so we just have to approve that, right? Not that we have any say over it, but we need to approve it.
We have to pay the money to the state, so yes, we need to.
Yeah, okay. So I'll make a motion that we approve that.
Second one?
Any further discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, unanimously passes. Thank you. Did you have anything else you needed to cover?
Well, so the next item, the late penalty homestead, so.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm not, I think every year you guys are supposed to decide what the late filing of the homestead declaration penalty is.
Yeah,
And in the last year, I think you guys did 3% across the board,
Yeah.
because you can change it depending on whether or not they've filed and whether or not homestead tax rate is higher or lower. So you can go up to 8. I believe last year you guys just did 3% across.
And if I remember correctly, we've had it at 3% for quite a while. I think it's been,
How many do we get a year?
Oh, I'm not sure, a decent amount.
Yeah.
Yeah, a decent amount.
Like, I wonder what is the 3%? The revenue was.
I don't know the answer to that question. It's only calculated on their education portion of the tax bill. It's not the full tax bill. It's a significant chunk.
okay. Well, I'll make a motion then that we continue with a 3% penalty for the homestead declaration
Filing.
penalties or abatement of homestead declaration penalties. Or late filing, that's probably a better way to say it, right? Yeah, so I'll make that motion. Second, further discussion, Mike, anything? Okay, all in favor? Aye. Okay, passed unanimously. Thank you, Sarah. So the tax bills I read somewhere are gonna go out middle of July.
I'm hoping for Monday, probably more realistically Tuesday next week.
Okay,
I'm gonna go slow.
Right.
First one.
right, yeah,
Contact you, right?
Did, yeah, so it's 4101.4101.
yeah,
So the bottom of that sheet, shows you the total tax rate for homestead and non-homestead. I'm calculating those 3 rates, assuming you guys were gonna approve everything.
Yeah.
So for homestead tax rates, it's an increase of 8.2%. For non-homestead, an increase is 12.25% overall.
okay.
Okay.
Right, so you have everything you need. Okay, that's good, and those bills are gonna be due 30 days after the sent out, right?
Days, probably a few extra days.
Yes. Okay,
Because the weekend,
okay, that's good, because we're getting a little jump start on it this year, right? Isn't it usually in August?
close to what it normally is.
Okay,
Well, I remember last year the flood was the 11th,
Yes,
July 11th.
yes,
oh, it was, okay,
That's when we set the town tax rate because,
because you guys talked about,
well, we were right at the next meeting.
yeah,
That was a Thursday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
yeah,
Was
so I
the-
think we're right.
pretty close, okay. All right, thank you,
Thank you.
have a good night, Sarah. Next item on the agenda was Tucker Hill Road with Christopher Del Bracco, and I don't see him here, so we'll move on and we'll catch him later if he comes in later.
Yeah.
Road closure communication. Was that,
That was, yeah, you asked to have that on there, I don't know.
okay, well, I think because of what happened on Tucker Hill that we, talked about how we can better communicate, and I think you've been doing a great job with this stuff you've been sending out. I notice now that the warnings say that, it could be closed from this hour to that hour. Please call the town office if you have a question about it. So we're making every step we can to try to warn people ahead of time, so. That was the reason that I wanted to talk about it. So you may want to mention too, you said Lisa had contacted you?
Yeah, so I talked to her yesterday and she said Lisa Loomis from the newspaper, Valley Reporter said that anything, that we want posted on the Valley Reporter social media, she's happy to share. I see she shared the email today that I put out about Boyce Hill.
Oh, good,
I
oh, she
didn't ask her
did,
to,
yeah.
she just did, so.
Okay. Okay, so that's good, so there's another,
You just have to encourage people to get on the
Yeah,
town web too. 'Cause just
right, 'cause
when
I don't wanna
when I
like
last-
say that I'm gonna text her every time, like that's.
yeah, where we know too that they have like neighborhood emails on Tucker Hill and I know on Center Facein Road. Maybe we should add somebody on that email list.
Yeah, people have to do it, like I can't add anyone. from
Yes.
the mail chips.
Yeah.
So,
But I think that if Tucker Hill seemed like, I read all the emails that I didn't read them all, but I
Yeah.
went through the list. Seems like they were alerted by their own email on Tucker Hill a couple of times.
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
So,
And
I mean,
Carrie
there's
Bennett
5
was-
emails went out in a matter of a month about Tucker Hill.
Yeah,
So I would,
yeah, yeah. Okay,
it could be important, you know, and I get it, that you can't always time it, but a time frame like the road will be closed for an hour and a half sometime between 8 and noon.
Well, we did 9 to 11.
No, okay,
yeah,
right. So, but that was probably new,
right.
yeah,
but that's a good start, I think, right? You gotta give some kind of time frame, even if it's a big time frame.
Right.
yeah.
And we did order signs,
Oh, you did good.
so they're getting custom made, but it'll take a,
Road closure signs.
yeah, with times.
Yeah.
So we'll have 2 of those. They'll be like 4-foot plywood signs, vinyl, reflective.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, so that's another thing
It's
that,
the right direction,
yeah, we've added to the communication.
We're all signed up for Vermont Alert as well. I can do that now. So, but that's more like if it's gonna be closed for a long period of time,
Okay,
you know? I think, but that's also you have to sign up for that.
yeah.
But
Can you use it even if it's not a long closure? Or did they specifically?
yeah, I mean, it's just kind of more for emergencies, I think.
Okay.
Like, I don't think they want us to update every single culvert replacement, but I mean, I
Okay.
can reach out to them to ask. but-
Yeah, well, I think we'd only be concerned if there's road closures involved.
It's like
you know?
Dunbar Hill's closed for the next
Yeah,
2 weeks to local.
right.
Yeah. Okay, so we got a lot of additional stuff going on that. We're learning. Sometimes the hard way, but we're learning. Okay, basin culvert policy updates. Oh, I see you sent a
Yes.
few things over today.
So that the original highway access permit was older, and so I had to retype it, so because it said like selectmen in a lot of places instead of select board, just older document.
Yes,
So the only thing that I changed was the culvert emergency section, and I changed it to this.
when you and Sarah
Yeah,
come up
just
with-
saying the,
Yeah,
So if we deem an emergency.
Yeah.
And it happens to be FEMA related, we could actually
right,
recoup that money.
right.
yes,
Because ultimately, right,
that was the purpose of this one,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Now, the other thing though you included in there was the VLCT template.
Yeah, so I looked at Waitsfield uses their template, and that was the one that was on the VLCT, so I didn't know if you guys wanted to completely switch over. That's like way different than ours.
Yeah,
I mean, it has a lot of the same information, just the,
I don't know, how much do we use that policy? We're changing it because we had an opportunity to get something that we couldn't.
yes, yes,
Right,
Yeah.
so how often do we really use that policy?
yeah,
yeah, I mean, I guess it's just like into driveways, right? I mean.
Yeah,
is
probably
that-
not very often.
Well, I mean, to reinvent it, I don't know, we need to take that time,
yeah.
that's, I mean.
So, I mean, I'd be happy just adding the wording that you guys came up with to our existing policy. And then change
Yeah,
selectmen to
And-
select board where they,
yeah, and maybe I'll have Josh just look over it, just to make sure, like, all the culvert sizes and everything, that there's no changes, just because the other one was super old.
yeah,
Before you guys sign it, but,
okay. All right, so that's all you needed was some direction from us tonight, not
Yes.
necessarily to approve it.
Yeah.
And we'll do that at our future meeting. Okay. Josh, you can be reading this in the hospital. You know.
Long time for that.
Oh, I don't know why I'm making fun of that. I had pneumonia once and I never wanted it again.
What's that?
Many years ago, I had pneumonia.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I was down and out for months.
Yeah.
You know, the recovery was just come back a little bit at a time. Yeah,
you know, I noticed, I just should have brought this up, other business, just some things that you included in the packet, which is select board to do, and there's some things that select board have done
okay,
that are, you know, I mean, I think we should probably keep it updated.
perfect. We can, I didn't have that printed out, but I can
Because I think, well, I think that one of the things I was thinking of, Shepherd's Brook, the tree debris and stuff, we kind of put that to sleep.
Mhm.
Right, just because we decided unless they're pinching on a bridge or whatever, the state says leave it alone.
Right,
The other one on here that I thought we should put on the agenda maybe for next week or something is the Dale King request. Yeah.
oh, yeah,
Right, we should make a, you know, a decision of what we think.
yeah,
Well, I think he's still in the DRB limbo or no?
Oh, well, there was a hearing and they have 45 days to,
Yeah,
yeah,
But I'm saying he's asked us for something, I think we,
Yeah.
regardless of the DRB,
Yeah.
we owe him an answer, I think.
Yeah.
Did you guys do site visits?
yes.
You did
Yeah.
site
I
visits?
did,
there,
I
yeah.
did.
Yeah,
Did you?
yeah,
Oh, I've been there plenty.
yeah. So you simply move the road over across the street from him. With
simply.
this huge hill coming down. But I think you're right, we did say we owed him an answer, so,
Okay.
yeah,
There's just a couple things I thought we should.
yep. Okay, our next item is liquor license and catering permits for. We have to ratify the Silver Hospitality LLC. For private wedding on Bisbee Road on July 12th. Is that the only one we have? or
No,
got-
we have two other ones.
Okay,
So, yeah, so we have to ratify that one that we already signed. Already approved, and then there is two from Sugar Bush, July 22nd and July 29th.
okay. So on this one, you just need our permission to.
Didn't sign.
I make a motion that we give her permission to sign these. Yeah, all in favor?
Good.
Okay, and then I'll also make a motion to ratify the permit that we had approved
The
Um,
email.
a week or so ago, right? Yeah, I'll make that motion. Second. All in favor? Aye. Okay. So you're good,
Okay.
what are
okay,
the dates on that second one in Sugar Bush?
July 22nd and July 29th.
Thank you.
then we have excess weight permits.
There's three of them.
What's July 29th?
North Base Lodge, Sugar Bush Mount, Allen.
Hmm.
Outside.
They have a
catering,
large event going on August 2nd, I know that. Which is a Saturday.
Gatehouse
It's like great for
catering.
gravel. Oh,
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so these are the three excess weight permits we have.
Yes.
Beacon Sales Acquisition, Catamount North Site Work. And Consolidated Communication.
see, I
Fine.
have a list of vehicles.
Sign away.
And install consolidated.
Sorry, Beacon Sales, what was the second one?
Adam out north site work.
I'm not North Cyber.
Yeah.
Got it. Thank you.
Mhm.
See, this is just the one. There goes the building. From the growling. Okay, so we've got the excess weight permits, Sorry you had to come down here and. We wanted your input on the Tucker Hill situation, so, you want to give us a little update on what's going on next week or so? While you came down.
Yeah, we're gonna do the culvert tomorrow on Boyce Hill Road. Probably shape up that ditch while we're there after we get it back open. I have a couple permits from A&R to fix some erosion on North Basin Road next to Shepherd's Brook. I'll have to haul in some riprap to put against the bank there,
What's the location of that?
just past the turnaround on the left-hand side.
Okay,
there's a spot there, and then just before the turnaround on the left-hand side. Is a head wall to a culvert that failed. So it's getting close to the blacktop, I have to put that back.
Okay,
Gonna have to get some more waste blocks for that. I have to build a area for me to set the machine on to reach the blocks that are over the bank, cause it's down close enough to the river that we needed a permit, I guess. I have a permit to do the 60-inch culvert on North Basin Road, but that's gonna be a couple weeks or so before we do that.
Mhm.
That's one about Boyce Hill.
Yeah. I gotta finish ditching Rankin Road up towards Dale Kings. I have a grant to do on Airport Road from Rankin Road to the bridge.
What about Rip Rap?
Yeah. I'm not going all the way to the bridge because they'll just have to tear it out.
Yeah.
So I'm going close enough that they can tie into it and just doing a check dam down there with some stone for now. This is all upcoming stuff,
Okay,
so,
Yeah, then you met with A&R about the other culverts, right?
yeah,
The fish,
yeah,
we have to wait to hear back from fisheries about those permits.
yeah, and I think those are probably ones that are getting engineered and put out to bid.
The ones on Dunbar Hill that we thought maybe were gonna be easier. There's fish, so,
Fish, a bunch of
and they can't
trees.
be a drop off,
Hmm.
so it becomes a bigger project.
Same with the one on Center Facein. Above Murphy Road, that one has a huge drop off, but that'll be a much bigger
Right.
structure.
Hmm.
We're still waiting on 2 studies from the state, cause we had that RFP ready, but. Tyler gave us some advice about if we're gonna need engineering on multiple culverts, we might be able to tie it all in and. And we have one person being the clerk of works instead of different companies.
Mhm.
Those other culverts, I wouldn't think would be getting done till 2026 anyway. After the
Yeah,
engineering gets done,
right.
Right, to get an RFP and get it done. right?
Yeah.
We're running out of time.
Yeah. Okay, well, thank you. Why don't you go home and get some rest?
We still kind of another business.
Yes.
Can we put on the agenda next time to get a list from Sarah, all the FEMA projects? And the ones that have been completed and paid and completed, not paid and not completed,
Yeah,
and maybe their value.
yeah,
I'd be curious to know what's out there dollar wise, and I
Yeah.
know we got paid some, a couple good sized ones. But
yeah. No, it's a good idea.
another
Well, the
thing,
big ones that we're waiting for. Like in hazard mitigation and like the work might be done, but hasn't been obligated to the state yet for us to get. Paid,
Mhm.
and you are right about that everything has to be completed before we get the state
State money. Yeah.
money.
Yeah,
Now, what about the two new bridges?
Mhm.
Those two, we don't get the state money, 17.5% until those two new bridges are in. But FEMA pays per project.
Yeah, Sarah made a good point though of that, because we're getting. Money on machinery that we wouldn't have like, they'd still be using the excavators, so like there will. The projects that we're getting paid for, kind of, we're gonna cover that.
Mm.
And same with like her admin time, that kind of stuff.
Mhm. Okay.
Moretown's gonna be renting our mower.
Oh, yeah, when they doing that?
He's really flexible. Michael's been mowing still, so
Yeah,
I'm thinking first week of August.
Yeah, so Mike's just getting back to where he was last flood. He made one pass down Big Basin after he does, center face, and that's about where he is now.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
the other side of town is done,
yeah,
so.
yeah, I know Randall Road's not done yet either.
He's just, yeah.
And I saw in the timesheet, he was doing some grading last week too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
All week, I think.
I did have to order a new grader blade, that put us over in that budget,
Already?
yeah. It's been a year, July 24 was the last blade I purchased for that machine.
Can I ask you a question about the grader? Would it help at all to have a roller on the back like Duxbury?
No,
Okay. thank you.
it would help to have a roller, but not a
Not the way
tow
they have.
behind, you need a vibratory roller.
Okay.
That I don't think the pull behind one works. To the same capacity as a vibratory one, and. It already. Struggles with the hills without pulling a roller, I think. Pulling a roller up the hill while trying to grade. It's gonna make it hop and you're gonna feel that in the road.
Well, you'd have to have it lifted for most of it. You could only roll it on the last two, 3 passes.
Yeah, and that's a lot of weight
Yeah,
to
that's
hang
what I
off
mean,
the
yeah.
back of that machine.
What would a roller give us? Would it make the road last longer?
It gives you compaction, it doesn't stay loose, especially on the hills. A lot of time, if it's freshly graded, not rolled, you wanna try to use 4-wheel drive, otherwise you just. Spin it up and it causes washboards,
Yeah.
and then it needs to be graded again.
So
And
if the-
chlorided,
If the town had the vibratory roller that's on your wish list, would then you have to grade less?
ideally,
Appreciate the information.
but that's on another machine and
Yeah.
it, you know.
Hmm.
Town of Warren is the only one around with a vibratory roller. But they also have 2 graders,
right,
so.
okay. Thank you, Josh.
No problem.
All right, well, I guess it's almost 6:30. I'm guessing that Crystal Braco is not coming, so do we have any other business that we need to cover? We didn't add anything, so I guess we don't have anything. Now we read the mail and sign the warrants.
No, ma'am.
No mail?
No, ma'am.
Oh, we signed the warrants. Yeah, I'll
Is
give it
mail
to,
still a thing?
I'll give it to Mike first. So Eve, you back for a while?
Yeah, I'm here.
Excellent.
It's good to be back.
Yeah,
Weather's amazing here, of course.
yeah, you had a good trip though, huh?
Yeah, but it's really hot there.
Yeah,
I couldn't survive
no,
in the summer, no way.
yeah.
It's good to be back.
How's your husband doing on his citizenship or whatever?
They changed the citizenship law 1 week before they arrived there. And, it's possible he may be grandfathered in, but he's not eligible according to the new rules. So that was a lot of work.
All that work, yeah.
Yeah, but we're still optimistic. We have to wait
Huh.
and find out what. Yeah. It's a trend, everyone's shutting down,
What's that?
everyone's shutting down, all.
Oh.
everybody's sort of shutting down.
Yeah,
What's the tax deposit in the year of 17,000?
I don't know.
Curious. This is 3045 tax deposit, 17,000.
check with Sarah, huh? Delinquent tax collections, maybe?
I wouldn't think it would show up like that. But I don't know, I would ask her.
Third spot?
Thank you.
Old Steve Show.
Now the crazy stuff's happening. So, you know, they didn't have access to a bunch of this stuff, so back in March, we've been more, you know, weren't there most of the time. We're like, it's gonna catch up. Now they're like, now we're behind. We gotta, it's like. Yeah.
Because what happens to me, you know, you're digging and the excavator doesn't come along timely and the concrete guy. That's the painful part because the end is when you're in.
Yeah.
You look back and you go, I know why.
There's where that month is.
It doesn't say, look.
Hey, you see, they got any,
Just
I see they're
that-
working really hard on that bypass there. From South Burlington to around Burlington.
Oh, yeah,
That they talked about for years,
Yeah.
it's moving forward.
Yeah.
Pretty rapidly.
yeah.
They got a big section down there, by the Old World, what's that down by?
It's still.
All right.
going.
No, yeah,
Don't have it in.
Let's make it official.
yeah, I'm not really sure, they've done sections and someday I'll get a chance to drive it, maybe, I'm not.
Maybe.
We'll make it official. We have a motion to adjourn.
I would make that.
I unanimous, and it is, what is it, 6:31? Okay, we adjourn at 6:31.